Good evening, everyone. We welcome you all to the third session of our lecture series, Pragnavaridhi. And Vaidya Shushma, ma'am will be continuing the session. And ma'am is taking the chapter 5 and 6 from Charaka Samhita Sutrasthana. Handing over the session to you, ma'am.
Good evening, thank you. So today is the third day of this series of Charaka Samhita Sutrasthana. So first day we have dealt with chapter 1 and chapter 12. Yesterday it was chapter 2 and chapter 4. And today we are dealing with 5 and 6 of Sutrasthana. So as usual, keep your books with you, Charaka Samhita handy with you so that you can mark the shlokas or write down whatever is important over there. So the first chapter that we will be dealing with today is Matrashithiya Adhyaya. So you know what is our drill here. The first thing what we see is the introduction to the chapter. The title first, Matrashithiya Adhyaya is the title. When we split the word, it becomes Matra, Ashanam, Ashitam. Ashana is an act to eat. Ashita is the act of eating, whatever is eaten. So Matra, Ashitam is what do you eat in moderate quantity or in quantity. Matra is quantity. Ashita is eating. Whatever is eaten in quantity, it is food, right? The medicine cannot be eaten in food, like eaten in quantity full of like stomach full, and all such things cannot happen. It is only food that you eat stomach full. So here what we understand is in the first shloka itself, the author says, Matrashithiya ahara matra punaragni balapekshini. So the first word is Matrashithiya. So the title of the chapter has become Matrashithiya Adhyaya. The Adhyaya which explains about eating in quantity is called Matrashithiya Adhyaya. And again, it is a narration format of chapter. There is no question, answer, or nothing there. It is just narration. The Guru explains and the Shishya notes it down. Or he listens to it, he understands it, he applies it, he implies it, anything. It's important shlokas for your exam point of view to by heart. Is 4, 8, 12, 13, 34, 35, 38, 68, 69, 81, 83, 103. These all are very basic shlokas which you will have to remember for your exams, because these are the definitions of every minute things, whatever can be asked as a main topic in your question. So you remember, you may have to remember much more, but these things are very necessary for you to by heart. These shlokas are very necessary for you to by heart. And once you by heart it, you'll be easily able to explain whatever is there in the shloka or whatever has been asked. Say, for example, a question is asked about Vyayama. If you know the shloka of Vyayama, you need not have to remember everything about Vyayama, like the whole paragraph will be there in translation if you see. That is not required when you know the shloka. When you know the shloka, you can just write down the words itself, and that is much sufficient rather than explaining half a page in English. Write the 2-line shloka, mention whatever is there, write the Padavibhaga of it, you are done. Yeah, you get full marks out of it. That is the importance of by hearting shlokas, and these are very important from this chapter. Just make a note of these numbers. Then, as usual, we understand what is the Tantra Yukti used in this particular chapter. Tantra Yukti, as I told you yesterday, it is the way how the Tantra is written and the way the student or whoever is reading has to understand, utilizing all of these concepts. He has to understand what is the Tantra trying to tell you, what is the author trying to tell you. So that is why Tantra Yukti is required. In this chapter, we have Upadesha, Padartha, and Nidarshana Tantra Yuktis. Upadesha is Upadesha Nama, Apta Anushasana. Yes, Apta is telling to us, so it's called Upadesha. It is trustworthy. You don't have to have any doubts regarding the topics explained here. Next, Padartha. Padartho Nama, Padasya, Padayoho, Padanam, Va Arthaha, Padarthaha. This is the same definition what you learn in your Padartha Vijnana, the definition of Padartha, same thing. Padasya, Padayoho, Padanam, Va Arthaha, Padartha. It is just word meaning everywhere. Word meaning, you understand the word, you know the meaning. you get the word, you know the meaning. That's called padartha. Nidarshana here is Nidarshanam Nama Murkha Vidusham Buddhi Samya Vishayo Drishtantaha. I mean, this is very mean of us because he says Murkha Vidusha for us. We are studying this, so we are Murkha Vidushas, of course. He says Murkha Vidusham Buddhi Samya Vishayo Drishtantaha. Like, he knows what is our level of understanding. The author knows what is our level of understanding. He comes to our level of understanding. He explained to us, and then he takes us forward. You know, like how we say, if there are kids, we have to go to their age, we have to understand their level, go to their level, teach them, and then make them understand the future difficult topics. This is similar to that. Nidarshana is that. Murkha Vidusham Buddhi Samya Vishayo Drishtantaha. They give some examples, they give any metaphor, simile, everything, and then make us understand. They come to our level, make us understand everything with buddhi samya. There is equal level of buddhi. They come to that level and then explain the vishaya with drishtanta. This is what is nidarshana. So in the future shlokas of the chapter, we will be able to see all of these tantriyuktis being used. Next, contents of the chapter. See, I put here contents of the chapter, but there is nothing in the text actually. When you look at the slokas and the series, how it goes, they do not give you, in most of the places, they do not give you the contents of the chapter. Only in some places you get to see, but I have put here so that we will have a clear-cut picture of whatever we will be discussing in this session. So contents of the chapter is Matravatahara, Guru and Laghu Ahara, about its explanation, benefits of Matravatahara, Asevaniya and Nitya Sevaniya Ahara Dravyas, and Swasthavrata, which is also known as Dinacharya. So, coming to the first topic, Matravat Ahara. What is Matravat Ahara? Ahara Matra Punaha Agni Balapekshini is what is the third shloka mentioned in the fifth chapter here. Ahara Matra, the quantity of ahara depends on Agni Balapekshini. It depends on the Agni Bala of the person. So you should always know what is your Agni Bala. You should always know how much hunger you feel and eat only accordingly. If you eat more, what happens? If you eat less, what happens? We'll be able to see next. Next topic is Chaturvida Ahara. What is Chaturvida Ahara? When we tell that, okay, Ahara Matra, okay, you eat something. But is it only eating? No. There are two opinions here. One is from Sushrita Samhita and one is from Shangadhara Samhita. Sushrita Samhita, he says there are 4 types of ahara, that is Ashita, Khadita, Pita and Leedha. That is Ashita is to eat, Khadita is to chew and eat, Pita is to drink and Leedha is to lick. This is from Sushrita Samhita. But what Shangadhara Samhita says is, he says that there are 6 types of aharas: Bhakshya, Bhojya, Charvya, Lehya, Choshya, and Peya. This is given in your Brahmanand Tripathi Hindi commentary book. You can go through that also. He says, Bhojya is something like rice or dal, which you can just eat and feel like your stomach is full very easily. That is Bhojya, like your normal food. Bhakshya is something like an extra dessert kind or something made very special kind. That is Bhakshya. Charvya is what you chew and eat. Lehya is whatever you lick and eat, like jam consistency kind. Choshya is what you something suck at, like maybe use a straw and then how you suck, right? Or you have a mango and then you suck the extract of it, you suck the juice of it and you drink, right? That is called Choshya. And then you have Peya, that is drinkable. So this is the opinion of Shangadhara Samhita. Next, we understood Punaha Agni Balapekshini, Ahara Matra Punaha Agni Balapekshini. But how? How do we even understand? Like, okay, now I'm feeling hungry, I'll eat, but how much to eat? I don't know. So for that, we have the next shloka here. Yavadhyasya ashanam ashitam anupahatya prakritim yathakalam jaram gacchati tavadasya matra pramanam vedikavyam bhavati. So there is a very simple shloka. I have written the explanation here. Food taken has to get digested and get evacuated at its normal pace without any difficulty. You have some food and You don't have to drink like lot of water for it to get digested, or lot of water for it to get evacuated out of your body, or have some hot water, or have some any other jeera water or whatever it is. Nothing is included other than the food for the food to get digested and evacuated at its normal pace. That much of quantity is the particular ahara matra for any person. Yavadhyasya ashanam ashitam, whatever is eaten, anupahatya, without any disturbance, without any difficulty, prakritim, normally, yatha kalam, according to its time, jaram gachati, it will get digested and it will get evacuated. Tavad, that is the matra pramanam of that particular person, is what the author wants to tell us about how to decide the quantity of ahara. So now that we know the way of understanding the correct quantity of ahara, but then is it only one kind of ahara that we have in the whole world? No, we have like millions and millions of formats of food that we can have. So now all of those millions and millions of food patterns or food varieties can be categorized into these two simple categories. One is Laghu Ahara and the other one is Guru Ahara. So what is Laghu Ahara and what is Guru Ahara? Is this Laghu and Guru dependent on like the individual dravya, whatever is added into the food? No. But it is about the wholesome wholesome guna of the ahara dravya, whatever you're eating. Say, for example, you're having rice and rasam. So, rice is different. It has its own guru and laghutva. And the rasam, whatever the ingredients are put in the rasam, there are different constituents. Every single ingredient has either its own gurutva or laghutva. It could be guru or laghu. So, when we look at the whole, we are not categorizing that, okay, rice is laghu and rasam is laghu, so it is laghu. The ingredients are so many. You list out the ingredients, you check out whatever is guru, whatever is laghu. Majority comes into guru, majority comes into laghu. No, that is not how we decide here. We do not do this ingredient wise list and then categorize it, whether it is heavy to digest or easy to digest. That is not how it works. But it is about the whole constitution. How you process the food also is a major point here. That is what will be explained later here in the Laghu and Guru Ahara Dravyas. So Laghu Ahara is what is very light to eat. It is Agni and Vayu Mahabhuta Pradhana. It causes Agni Sandhukshana. It will increase the appetite of the person. Whenever you have Laghu Ahara, it will increase the Agni. Agni Sandhukshana happens in this. The quantity of what, the Laghu Ahara quantity can be Sauhitya. Sauhitya is when you feel, okay, my stomach is full now. I'm like done. I cannot have anything else. It's called Sauhitya. That level is called Sauhitya. So this Laghu Ahara can be had until you feel the Sauhitya. Like, okay, I cannot have anything else. And when you have this also, when you have that much of food also, it is Alpa Dosha Karaka, because it has already increased your Agni. There has been a lot of Agni Sandhukshana happening. It is also Agni and Vayu Mahabhuta Pradhana, very easy to digest. Agni and Vayu can get digested very easily, right? Even when you have it like sufficient quantity, like stomach full, it will not produce any dosha in the body. It is Alpa Dosha Karaka, and it is also not Nati Sauhitya. You need to have like very little. You should always have sufficient quantity. It cannot be like very little. Laghu Ahara cannot be eaten little. It has to be had sufficient quantity. Example of this are Shali, Shashtika, Mudga, Lava, Kapinjala, Ena, Shasha, Sharabha, Shambhara. Only 3 are vegetarian and all others are Mamsa, Pashupakshi, Mamsa, it is there. But you can consider about the Mahabhuta Pradhanata of every single Dravya and then categorize it. We'll anyways look at Sevaniya and Asevaniya Dravyas also in the later part, so that can also be added to these two categories later. Next, Guru Ahara is, it is Prithvi and Mahabhuta Pradhana. When we saw the Laghu Ahara, it was Agni and Vayu Mahabhuta Pradhana, but Guru Ahara is Prithvi and Mahabhuta Pradhana. it will cause asamanya agni sandukshana. Asamanya agni sandukshana means it could be either increased or decreased. It's just abnormal. It could be hypernormal or hyponormal or subnormal. Anything could happen. So it is asamanya agni sandukshana. So when this asamanya agni sandukshana happens, when any person intakes such kind of food in sauhidya quantity, what will happen is atimatra dosha will increase in the body. Dosha will increase in very large quantity if the person does not indulge in vayama. So we'll have a discussion here. So there is guru ahara. One person is always regular with vyayama and the other person is not regular with his vyayama. Both of them go and have guru ahara, sufficient quantity, like stomach full of guru ahara. This person who is regular with vyayama will not get affected with any dosha, but the other person who does not involve in vyayama every single day, he will end up getting atimatra dosha. That is the major star mark here. Terms and conditions apply for eating guru ahara. Next, it can be had like tribhaga or ardha sauhitya, like 1/3 of your quantity of your complete satiety or half of your capacity. And this guru ahara should be eaten according to matra and only when you're hungry. Laghu ahara can be had even when you're like, okay, I'm just starting feeling too hungry now. And that is also the point when you can have laghu ahara. But guru ahara has to be eaten only when you're hungry, and matra is very important in this. It is either 1/3 or half of the capacity. Okay, and when this kind of mindful eating happens, considering the gurutva and laghutva of the ahara, what happens is matravad yashanam ashitam anupahatya prakritim balavarna sukhayusha yojayati upayuktaram avashyamiti. The person whoever does this kind of mindful eating with respect to laghu and guru ahara, he will get bala, varna, sukha and ayusha when it is utilized properly. Next, we have the list of asevaniya dravyas and sevaniya dravyas, which are in the 10th and 10, 11 and 12th shloka. Nitya sevaniya dravyas, nirantara sevana nishedha dravyas, and sevana ayogya, asevaniya dravyas. So, asevaniya dravyas are vallura, the dry meat, or shushka shaka, dry vegetables, shaluka and bisa. Shaluka and bisa are the components of lotus. So whatever is like the lotus stem or the seeds of lotus, everything is asevaniya dravyas. Like I won't go into the controversy. Above dravyas are guru in nature, so that is why you cannot eat them. They are asevaniya dravyas. Next, the list whatever is there is they are nirantara asevaniya dravyas. That is written in 11th shloka. Nirantara asevana, you should never eat what? Krisha Purusha should not eat mamsa, never. Kurchika and kilata are these milk preparations and curd preparations. Whatever we prepare it like cheese, mozzarella, and paneer and everything. These come under kurchika and kilata. So these things should not be eaten. Shocking. Shaukara, that's the pork flesh, should not be eaten. Go and Mahisha Mamsa should not be eaten. Matsya, Dadhi, Masha, and Yavaka, these should not be eaten by any person because these are also guru in nature and these can be utilized as medicines. Yes. Aushadha dravyas, yes, because their karma is different. When we need that kind of karma to happen inside the body, action to happen inside the body, we do advise this. It is possible for a person to have this. But on a normal basis, on a regular basis, you cannot have. Is what the author wants to tell here. Next, we have sevaniya dravyas. Once they tell, okay, these are the things you cannot have, then they say, okay, let me tell you whatever you can have. Sevaniya dravyas are Shashtikan Shali Mudgamsta Sainthava Amalake Yavan Antariksham Payaha Sarpihi Jangalam Madhucha Abhyaset. These are Nitya Sevaniya dravyas, very important shloka. Please by heart this. Shashtika Shali can be used every day. Mudga, yes. Sainthava, yes, every day. Amalaki, yes. Yava, but it's Purana Yava. Antarikshapaya, whatever is gotten from the rainwater. Sarpihi, every day, yes. Jangala is Jangala mamsa, you can have every day. Madhu can be had every day. These are the Nitya Sevaniya Dravyas. Okay, so what happens when you have this Nitya Sevaniya Dravyas properly? When you consider about Nitya Sevaniya Dravyas, you consider about Laghu, Guru, Matra, everything, whatever is explained until now. What happens when you do all of these things? What happens is written in the 13th shloka. It is Tacha Nityam Prayunjita Swasthyam Yenanu Vartate Ajatanam Vikaranam Anupattiparam Sayat. It's like if you follow all of these things, Swasthya will be maintained. Of course, that is what we are studying about. Swasthya will be maintained, health will be maintained of the person. Okay, very good. And the second line is very important. Ajatanam vikaranam anutpattikaram sayat. It makes, even if the disease has not yet manifested in the body of a person, these following this kind of rules and regulations and then maintaining the diet will make sure that those diseases will not even come in the future. Ajatanam, whatever is not there, vikaranam, anutpattikaram, it will make sure that it will never happen inside the body. It will not manifest inside the body. These are the benefits of considering Sevaniya, Asevaniya Dravyas, Laghu and Guru Aharas, and then also Agni Balapekshini Ahara, Matravata Ahara benefits. Very, very important for your examinations, Viva and also AIAPGT. Also very important for your clinical practice. Next, now we have understood what is about the diet. Ahara done. Now comes to Vihara and Vichara. So Vihara is whatever we do in the single day lifestyle. So here we see about Dinacharya or Swasthavrata is what even the author wants to say. We come to shloka number 14, where he says, Ata urdhvam sharirasya karyam abhyanjanadikam swasthavratam abhipretya gunataha sampravakshyate. He says, we'll discuss now about swasthavrata. We have already discussed about many things earlier. Now we will see about whatever you have to do for your body every day, which will be called as swasthavrata. So the first thing, Saviranjana. Anjana is the first Swasthavrata, what the author explains here. There are different varieties of Anjana explained. You can see that in Rasashastra, also Bhaisijya Kalpana, and also in Salakya Tantra. Anjana is a whole different chapter there because it is one of the Kriya Kalpa. So here we just brush up everything. We do not want to include a lot of time here because these are all maybe your 2-mark questions. It may not be for even 5-mark also. So Anjana, Saviranjana can be used daily. Rasanjana can be used once in 5 or 8 days once to get rid of the Sanchita kapha in the eye. Why? Why do you have to take out kapha from the eye? The next shloka says, Chakshuhu tejomayam tasya visheshat shleshmato bhayam tataha shleshmaharam karma hitam drishtehe prasadanam. The author says Rasanjana has to be used once in 5 or 8 days to get rid of the Sanchita kapha. He does not tell Sanchita vata or Sanchita pitta in the eye because eye is pitta pradhana is what we have understood, right? But here he says Sanchita kapha has to be taken out. Why? Is because he says Chakshuhu tejomayam. Chakshu is always tejomaya. It is predominant of tejo mahabhuta. That eyes will have shleshma bhaya. It cannot intake more of shleshma in it because that kind of ushmata what the eye produces cannot be gotten down. So if there is shleshma, then the temperature comes down. It is more of prithvi and mahabhuta shleshma. And I is tejo mahabhuta pradana. What happens is this stages, sometimes what happens, the ushmata of the eye could, either if it is in the normal stage, ushmata, it could let go of the shleshmata. It will just come out as, through srava and it will go. But what if this shleshma is more and the tejo mahabhuta gets hampered by the shleshma? That is the only reason why we have to take out the sanchita kapha from the eyes. So what we have to do is do Shleshmahara karma, which will increase or which will produce Hita Drishti, like normal vision of the eye is restored. Next, Tikshananjana should not be used at daytime but has to be used only at night, because Tikshananjana is Ushna Pradhana karma. It will increase Ushnata in the body, and even outside there is a lot of Ushnata in the mornings. So you cannot do that. Tikshananjana is also, it will also do Virechana of the eye. It will take out all the kalmashas from the eye, and then it will cause weakening of the eye. That cannot happen. There is a lot of dust around the person there, and there is too much of surya kiranagalu also, so you cannot make the person to get exposed to such kind of hard sunlight, and also the dust, and also the ushmata in the daytime. So it cannot be used. Any Tikshananjana should not be used at daytime, but it has to be used only at the night. Benefits of using Anjana is Drishtir Miracula Bhati Nirmale Nabhasi Induvat. Actually, there is like about yeah, three shlokas explained in Charaka Samhita about the benefits of Anjana, but you can go through that whenever you are studying. But this is one beautiful shloka. Drishtihi Nirakula Bhati Nirmale Nabhasi Induvat. Your eyes become Nirakula, like it is not covered with anything. It is as clear as what? As clear as Nabhasi Induvat. Like how a moon shines in the sky, similarly, your eyes will also shine, is what the author wants to say. This is such a wonderful comparison here, so I've just put it down. See, these are the small, minute things which you can also point out when you're studying. Make a note of it, by heart that shloka, and utilize wherever possible. These are the minute thing which acts like a cherry on the cake whenever you write the exams. That is very, very important. Everybody might write the first two shlokas, the first two lines which I've mentioned, that Chakshustejamaya Tasya and all those things. But what makes the evaluator catch hold of his eye is these kind of minute uh, detailings, whatever you explain. So this is very, very important when you write in your exams also, and also when you're answering your vivavos. Okay. Next, Anjana is done. Next, it is Dhumapana. Dhumapana, there are majorly three varieties: Prayogika, Snehika, and Murdha Virechika Dhumavarti. So these three Dhumavarti preparation is also explained in Charaka Samhita. You can go through that. From shloka number 20 to shloka number 26.5. It is the preparation of all these three kinds of Dhumavartis. You can go through that. It does not have anything that has to be explained. They are all just ingredients, and you can make a list of it, by heart it, or just understand it however it is convenient for you. Next, indications of Dhumapana. It is a list here. Gaurava, Shirashula, Pinasa, Bhavabhidaka, Karna, Akshishula, Akasha, Swasa, Hikka, Danta Daurbalya, Danta Srava, Shrotra Grana, Akshidoshas, Vaiswarya, Khalitya, Keshapatana, Akshavatua, Atitandra, Moha, Atinidra. And when the list goes on, I mean, it's like more than 6 shlokas in the Charaka Samhita. Just go through that. It is all indications of Dhumapana, where and all you can do Dhumapana. Here, Dhumapana refers to the nasal Dhumapana, what we do. It is for the Urdhva Jitru. It is not related to any other part of the body here, Dhumapana. The benefits of doing Dhumapana is it increases Bala. Bala increases in Shira, Kapala, Indriya, and Swara will also get lot better. And what will happen when you take continuously Dhumapana properly is Urdhva Jatrugata Vata Kapacha Vyadhi will not happen. This is what the author wants to tell us about the benefits. Next, Snehika and Varichanika Dhumapana are not explained here in Charaka Samhita as of now. It will be explained later in Siddhisthana. But now, here it is about Prayogika Dhumapana. Majorly, explanation is about Prayogika Dhumapana. Okay. The time for Prayogika Dhumapana is Snatva, Bhuktva, Samullikhya, Kshutva, Danta, Nidhushita, Navana Anjana Nidrante, Cha Atmavan Dhumapo Bhave. This is also a very important question that can be asked for your 2 marks. and also in viva voce. Prayogika Dhumapana is that you can do every day. It does not have any limitations. It's almost like you can do it every day. So they have given you 8 kalas for this. Snatva, Bhuktva, Samullikhya, like after taking bath, after having food. Samullikhya is after vomiting, after Kshutva, after sneezing. If there is a lot of sneezing coming one after the other, then also you can do Danta Nigrishya after brushing the teeth, after Navana, after Nasya, after doing Anjana, and after sleeping. That's in the morning. And how should you take this? Atmavan. Every time you take this, you have to be Atmavan. You have to be conscious of what you are doing and how you are taking Dhumapana. That is very, very, very important. Mentioning about this Atmavan will fetch you maybe half an extra mark or 1 extra mark. In the above kala, Vatakapacha Urthajatragata Roga will express itself more, and thus these times are instructed for Prayogika Dhumapana. Why these? Because the author says Vata Kapaja Urdhva Jatrugata Roga will express itself more. So it is these times. Other times, if you want, you can do, but these are necessary. Prayogika Dhumapana you can do twice a day. Snaika Dhumapana can be done once a day. And Vairechanika Dhumapana can be done 3 to 4 times per day. This is what is the explanation about Prayogika Dhumapana. So next we have Samyak Dhumapana Lakshana. What happens after taking proper Dhumapana? Samyak Apita and Atipita Lakshana again. The first 2 lines of 52 and the last line of 52 and the first line of 53rd shloka will explain about Samyak Pita Lakshana. 53 second half and 54 first half will give an explanation of Apita Lakshana, and after that it is Atipita Lakshana until 65 shloka first half. That is Atipita Lakshana. You can just go through that. Everywhere it says, what it says is there is lot of Samyak Pita Lakshana, the symptoms, whatever the person is facing, that will come down. There is lightness. Apita Lakshana, still there is lot of heaviness in the body. Kapha is still there and there is heaviness and it is not still clear, is what Apita Lakshana says. And Atipita Lakshana is there is too much of dryness. There could be drops of blood coming out of the nose, or there could be epistaxis happening. There could be vertigo. Even the person can also become unconscious, is what it says. So what happens if you do not give the Dhumapana properly? Apita or Atipita Lakshana is also important. Samyak Pita Lakshana, very, very important. Samyak Dhumapana Lakshana, very, very important. Why it is two different? Samyak Dhumapana Lakshana, Samyak Pita Lakshana. They are both same, but it's just mentioned twice because we did not remember for once. Okay. Instructions for doing Dhumapana is inhale from nose and exhale from nose when the person has Shiro, Ghrana, Akshi, Samskrita doshas. When you have to inhale from nose and then exhale from nose when there is Shiro, Ghrana and Akshi, Samskrita dosha. Inhale from mouth and exhale from mouth when there is Kanthastha dosha. Never inhale from mouth and exhale from nose. That reverse process cannot happen. If it happens, then there is irritation in the eyes. Next, Dhumapana is done, Anjana is done. Now we have Nasya. Nasya, it is very simple here. There are 3 weathers, 3 Rutus where you can follow Nasya every day. Pravrit, that is Varsha Rutu, Sharad Rutu and Vasant Rutu. On the days when there are sunny weather, it's not cloudy. If it is not cloudy, in these Rutus, you can do Nasya every day. Benefits are written in the sloka number 58 to 63. And Anutaila reference is mentioned here. This is very, very important for Bhaishya Kalpana. If they ask you to write about Anutaila reference, then you cannot write any like Trimarmi Adhyaya or Kalpasiddhi Sthanas or any other references. It is here. Please remember that it is Anutaila reference is in Matrashithiya Adhyaya of Charaka Samhita Sutrasthana, which is 5th chapter. Okay, very, very important. This is where you can also get confused when you are writing about Anutaila. Anutaila is here between the shlokas 63 to 71. Next it is about Danta Pavana or Danta Dhavana, what we call it in Ashtanga Hridaya Danta Dhavana. Dantapavana. Dantadhavana has to be done every twice a day, and then the puja has to have kashaya, katu, and tiktarasa. Just take a puja of any dravya which is pradhanata of which has the pradhanata of kashaya, katu, and tiktarasa. Bite at two and then make it into a brush, make it into a kulcha, and then use it to brush the teeth. But make sure that you are not hurting the gums. The danta mamsa are not hurt, because when you take this kurcha, no, the stick from the tree, some places it will be hard and some places it will be soft. The fibers are soft at some places and hard at some places. So you have to make sure that everything is bitten properly, you chewed it properly. The end has become completely like a brush, and then you have to brush. Make sure it is not hurting the gums. Next, the benefits of doing Dantadhavana is it clears Gandha and Vairasya of the mouth. It cleans the Jihva Danta Asyata Mala. Whatever the Mala has been accumulated in the Jihva, Danta, and Asya, that will get cleansed. And once you brush, you will be able to relish your food properly, which means it brings about ruchi immediately. You need not take some time. Next, after Dantadhavana, what you do is Jihva Nirlekhana, tongue scraping. What are the metals that has to be used is Suvarna, Rupya, Tamra, and Trapu. The scraper, whatever is prepared out of these metals, should be atikshna. It cannot be sharp. It has to have blunt edges. If it is sharp, yes, your tongue is gone. And it has to be ruju. It has to be curved. That is how we also get our tongue scrapers now. And the same thing was mentioned earlier also here in Jihva Nirlekhana, how it has to be prepared. Benefits of doing Jihva Nirlekhana is it clears Jihva Moolagata Mala, which blocks the Uchvasa. The Jihva Moolagata is the root of the tongue. Whatever is there, the Mala, whatever is accumulated there, if that is creating any block for the person to breathe, that will get cleared, and it will also clear the Daurgandha of the mouth. So once you have cleared the doshas, or once you have cleared the mala of the mouth, what you got to do is get some good refreshment there. What do you do is tambula. What tambula does is it will give you mukha shuddhi, vishuddhata, ruchi, and saugandha. Benefits of tambula. See, tambula here is not using betel nuts, but it is only about using betel leaf and also with some aushadha dravyas along with that. That is called tambula here. You can see the references, the shloka numbers for second half of 76 until second half of 70, first half of 78. Dharanya siyena vaishadya ruchi saugandham ichchata jati katuka puganam लवंगस्य फलानि च कर्पूरस्य फलं तत्र ताम्बूलस्य शुभं तथा कर्पूरनिर्यासः सूक्ष्म एलाः फलानि च. He says everything has to be added, but the quantity differs again. It is not only using the betel nut and betel leaf and chewing and spitting it out. It's about including all of these, considering about how the person wants to eat it. So next, we have explanation about Gandusha. Gandusha is two concepts here, Kavala and Gandusha. Kavala is where there is no movement in the mouth when you put the oil. Gandusha is the process where you move your mouth completely and then keep squishing the oil inside the mouth and then spit it out. That is called Gandusha. What happens when you do proper Gandusha is written here, Hanvor Balam, Swarabalam, Vadana Upachayaha. There is strengthening of all the Urdhva Chitragata bhagas. Syatparam Rasagnianam. It gives proper Rasagniana of Anna, and you will also be able to taste properly. Ruchihi Uttama. Asya Kantha Shoha. Kantha Shosha will not happen. Oshta Shosha also will not happen. Oshta Sputana will also not happen. There is no dryness of the mouth, dryness of the tongue, or lip cracks, anything. Dantaha kshayam yanti. Nacha dantaha kshayam yanti. There is no degeneration of the teeth happening very fast. Dridha mula bhavati. The roots will get very strong when you do Gandusha properly. Na shulyante, na amlena hrishyante, bhakshayanti cha. Whenever you eat amla, there is no sensation happening. It is not too sensitive. And there is no pain also when you have amla rasas. Paranapi Kharan Bhakshyam Staila Gandusha Dharanat. Whenever you follow this Staila Gandusha properly, all of these things will become the best. So next we have explanation about Shirosnehana. Nityam Snehardra Shirasaha Shirah Shulam na Jayate Na Thalityam Na Palityam Nekeshaha Patan Nakeshaha Pratanticha Balam Shiraha Kapalana Visheshena Abhivardhate Dridhamoolascha Dirghascha Krishna Kesha Bhavantica. The same thing continues here. See, there is difference between Shiro Abhyanga and Shiro Snehana. Here, the author is not telling us to perform Shiro Abhyanga. It is Ardra Shiras. Like it is just getting Shiro Snehana, just mild oleation is required. It is Ardrata, it is not Abhyanga. Abhyanga is when we completely oil it. But here we are just putting a little amount of oil so that the oil is getting absorbed inside the murdhni. So he says in the last line, Murdhni Tailam Nishevanat. Murdhni Taila is just you put some oil. Murdhni Taila is the process, Panchakarma process, one of Upakarma process. You take a cotton gauze, put some oil into it, hot oil, and then completely soak that gauze piece in cloth or the oil. The cloth or the gauze, whatever is being used, is completely drenched in oil. Keep it around the murdhni, and that is what is called murdhni taila. So here it is Shiro Snehana or murdhni taila, and it is not Shiro Abhyanga. Next, we have Karnapurana, Abhyanga, Padabhyanga, and Sharira Parimarjana and Snana. All the benefits and how it has to be done, what happens when you do, everything is there. These are all very simple topics, but very, very important when you consider about following Dinacharya. You might have read all of these even in Ashtanga Hridaya also. Same thing repeats here. So here, one important point is in the last part here, Sharira Parimarjana and Snana. So two things here, one is Sharira Parimarjana, other one is Snana. Parimarjana is just wiping your body with some cloth or anything, and Snana is taking a complete bath. Okay, so both are different. This is also an AI PGT question and also a Viva question. Next, what we have is Vastradharana, Subhanda Dravya Dharana, Mala Dharana, and Ratnabharana Dharana. All of these things have different slokas explained, but I've just concluded, concisely explained on what are the benefits of doing all of these things. It is Kamya, Yashasya, Ayushya, Alakshmigna, Shrimat Parisada. Like it will allow you to enter into any luxurious or intellects in between intellects. That is called Shrimat Parisada. Either you enter between luxurious people or you enter between people who are intellects. Vrishya, Saumanasyakara, Pushti Balaprada, Mangala, and it is Harshana. So everything, it will make you happy, it will make you live longer, it will, it is Vrishya, it will give you Saumanasya, it will give you calmness inside, it is Pushti and Balaprada, it will give you strength, it is Mangala, it is auspicious, it is Harshana, it will make you feel happy. So all of these things are just getting better in whatever you have done. You have done all of the previous things we're doing internally. You have done internally, and then you also have to put it externally also about how you're feeling, right? That is about Vastradharana, Subhanda Dravya Dharana, Mala Dharana, and Ratnabharana Dharana. These are the concise benefits of all four of them. Next, Shaucha. Shaucha is of two things here. Yeah, Shaucha is two things here. One is about keeping the, Malamargas and all the Payu and Upastha, keeping them clean is one kind of Shaucha. And the other kind of Shaucha is getting your beard and hair and nails trimmed properly at proper time is also a Shaucha. So these two things are also explained here. Shaucha, when you follow it, when you keep your orifices clean, that is when it is Medhyam, Pavitriam, Ayushyam, Alakshmi Kalinashanam. This is like, it will give you good amount of intellect. It is pure, you're maintaining purity of your body, it gives you longevity of your life. It will also destroy any bad omens of whatever it is there. This is about Shaucha when you maintain the cleanliness of the external orifices and about your legs. And then the other two lines are about Shaucha and Shaura Karma. You're maintaining your Shaucha by doing proper amount of trimming at proper frequency. It is Paustika, Vrishya, Ayushya, Shuchihi, Rupa Virajanam, Kesha Shmashru Nakhadinam, Kalpanam, Samprasadanam. It is Samprasadana. It makes you feel happy. It makes you look pleasant. What? When you do proper trimming of Kesha, Shmashru, and Nakha. This is also one important point which cannot be missed out. And then we have Padakradharana, Chakradharana, and Dandadharana. Different shlokas are there. Concisely, I have put it here. It is Chakshushya, Sparshanahita, Vrishya, Balya, Rakshakara, Avashtambhana, Ayushya, and Bhayaguna. Avashtambhana is to make you feel stable. Maybe when you're carrying a danda, when you're traveling, when you're hiking, when you just keep a hold of it whenever you feel you're scared or whenever you feel like you're slipping or if there is slippery or if it is slimy, anything, you just keep a hold of it and then it will make you feel stronger and stable. That is the meaning of avashtambhana, feeling the stability. And ayushya bhayagna, because you have something to hit when the person comes. Rakshakara is also the same thing. If any person comes and attacks you, you just have something in your hand to beat them off. It is Vrishya, Balya, Sparshanahita, Chakshushya, everything. Padatradharana, Chatradharana, and Dandadharana. So by this, we come to the end of the topic of Dinacharya. What is the importance of following all of these? Yes, individually, the Acharya has explained to us about the benefits of following each and everything. Like we saw about the benefits of Snana, Anjana, Nasya, Dhumapana, everything we have seen individually. But to follow all of these things, why? Why is it required basically? Is he says, a very beautiful shloka, Nagari Nagarasyaiva, Rathasyaiva Rathiyatha, Swasharirasya Medhavi, Krityeshu Avahito Bhavet. So, two comparisons given. One is about the Nagara and one is about the Ratha. Nagara is how a king takes care of his subjects there. And the Ratha, how the Rathi, the Sarathi, the charioteer, how he takes care of his own Ratha, his own means of earning or means of work, whatever it is. He is responsible to that chariot, right? So he takes care of it. Similarly, we, Swasharirasya Medhavi, if one is Medhavi, if one has proper intellect, if he knows what to do, then he will take care of his own Sharira properly. Avahita, he will not miss doing all of these things. He will do all of these things. So how a king takes care of his subjects, of his nagara, of his city, of his pranti or whatever it is, he takes care of that. And how a charioteer takes care of his chariot. Similarly, a medhavi, an intellectual person, will take care of his body so that it is helping him to attain dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So that is the end of this chapter. Tatra shloka, we have already seen what is the contents of the chapter. Same thing is there, but here in the Tatra shloka, he explains about every single point what we have dealt with. That is like Anjana, Dhumavarti, Trividhavarti Kalpana, Dhumapana Guna, Kala, Pana, how you have to take, Mana, when you have to take, and Vyapatti, what happens if Dhumapana is done excessively, and Bheshajya for that, Dhumo Yesha Vigarhitaha, Peya Yatho Yanmayam Cha, Netram Yesya Yadvidham. So he has given every single topic, whatever is explained, and that makes us come to the end of this first chapter, what we're dealing today. That is Matrashithiya Adhyaya. Next, we are going to start with Tasyasitiya Adhyaya. So, same drill goes again here. Introduction to the chapter. Title is Tasya Ashana. So, you see, we have understood about Matra Ashana, how quantitatively you have to eat, what are the medicines that can be used for panchakarma, nitya sevaniya dravyas, asevaniya dravya, and what dinacharya, everything. We know major things now. We have sufficient amount of quantity to lead our daily life normally if we do not get any disease, so that we do not get any disease. But when you look at the weather conditions or the climatic conditions around us, is the climatic condition same? No, it keeps changing. Every like 2 or 3 months, the climatic conditions do keep changing. So, with respect to that Rutu, whatever has to be eaten and whatever has should not be eaten will be explained in this chapter. So, Tasya Ashana. So, we know what are Sevaniya Dravyas and food articles, and we have seen about different groups of food items also in the second chapter and in the fourth chapter. So, all of those things cannot be had every single time because their actions are different. The karma, what they perform inside the body, is different. So, with respect to those things, what we try to understand here is those things has to be eaten in which rutu. Snigdha should be eaten in which rutu. Ruksha dravyas should be eaten in which rutu. Sasneha, like with a little bit of sneha, should be eaten in which rutu. That is what this chapter is all about. Tasyashithiya. We have known something tasya about that. Those things has to be eaten in which rutu is what explains in this chapter. Tasyashithiya Adhyaya. Tasya Ashana with respect to rutu. Next, this is also a narration format chapter. There is no question answer. There is no Tadvidya Samphasha happening anywhere here in this chapter also. It is also a narration format chapter. Important shlokas that could be beneficial for you if you by heart this shlokas is 18, 21, 29, 35, 45, 49 and 50. Very, very important shlokas. By heart maybe like 6 or 7 of the shlokas, and you should be able to deal or understand the topics in a better way and present it when you're writing the answers in a better way. Okay. Make sure you have noted down the numbers 18, 21, 29, 35, 45, 49, and 50. Next, Tantra Yuktis which are used in this chapter is Uddesha, Nirdesha, and Swasanya. Uddesha and Nirdesha are the first time we are encountering these Tantra Yuktis here, but Swasanya we have already seen in the earlier chapters. Uddesha, Uddesho Nama, Sankshepa Abhidhanam. Sankshepa Abhidhanam is to concise and tell whatever has to be told. It is concisely said. That is called Uddesha. Nirdesha is Nirdesho Nama, Sankhya Yoktasya Vivaranam. Whatever has been told in numbers, that is explained. It's called Sankhya Ukta Vivaranam. Swasanya Nama Ya Tantrakaraihi Vyavaharartham Sanya Kriyati. To communicate something, the author is trying to tell you some word, and whenever he says that word, you already understand what he wants to say. That is called Swasanya. The contents of the chapter is Rutucharya and Satmya. The Satmya topic is what we never consider about until we end up in practicing. Satmya is very, 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 very important for making the ahara advices for the patient. It is very, very important, Satmya. And Rutucharya, we already know, we already understand by the title itself, Tasyashithiya. Rutucharya, we already know that this chapter deals with Rutucharya, but Satmya is the topic which we get confused, and we try to correlate with any other further chapters coming up. So Satmya is explained here, my dears. It is not explained anywhere else. Next, coming to the main topic of the chapter, Ritu Vibhaga. So we understood that there are different climatic conditions everywhere, but what our acharyas have told is there is one samvatsara. One samvatsara is 1 year. Samvatsara is 1 year. In 1 year, we majorly first divide into two types or two categories. One is Adana Kala and the other one is Visarga Kala. Adana Kala happens for 6 months and Visarga Kala also happens for 6 months. You can go through. You might have already read about this in your Ashtanga Hridaya also. Same thing explains. Same thing the Bhagavatarya also explains. Similar division of the Ritu. It's Adana Kala, Visarga Kala, 6 months each and 6 months each. And then in Adana Kala, we have 3 Ritus, which are Shishira, Vasanta, Grishma. In Visarga Kala, we have 3 Ritus, Varsha, Sharat, and Hemanta. So, what is Adana Kala and what is Visarga Kala? Why is this difference? When we look at that, it is divided here. The explanation is divided here. We'll see first about Adana Kala. Adana Kala is Agneya in nature. It has Agni Mahabhuta Pradhanata, Agni Guna Pradhana, and Visarga Kala, it is Saumya in nature. It has Soma Guna Pradhana, that is, it has Chandra majorly, which is acting in the whole of 6 months. But here in Adana Kala, the Surya has major predominance. So, what happens when Surya is predominant? There is Atiruksha Vayu. Chandra is just normal. He is not like gone too low, but he's just normal. Surya is also normal. But this normal Surya will be there in the Shishira Rutu. But when it comes to Vasanta and Grishma, the predominance of Surya increases. There is too much of Santapa happening. Tapa will keep on increasing in the Vasanta and Grishma Rutu. So here in the beginning of Adana Kala, there is normalcy of Surya, but later on it increases a lot. So Bala is reduced. Why? Because of the Sneha Shoshana, which is happening because of the sun. The sun, with his rays, he'll extract all the Snehana, whatever is there in the body, and then the Bala of the person is also reducing because of the same thing. So here, what happens when the Sneha Shoshana is also happening? There is also Jala Shoshana happening because of the Ruksha Vayu. Rukshata increases and Durbalata will also increase. When there is Rukshata, there is increase in Vata dosha, and Vata dosha will always give you Durbalata. Katu, Tikta, Kashaya, Rasa Vruddhi happens because there is predominance of Vata. So we have seen that complete Adana Kala is majorly ruled by Vata dosha, and Vata Sanchaya, Prakopa, Prasara, everything happens here in Adana Kala. Vata dosha Pradhanata, Agni Guna Pradhanata is always there in Adana Kala. In Adana Kala, Bala gets reduced. In Visarga Kala, it is Saumya Bhava because Chandra takes more power here. So it is Saumya. There is normal Vayu, it does not Ruksha as we saw in Adana Kala. Chandra has Vyahata Bala, the Chandra takes more predominance. That is what we mean by Vyahata Bala. Bala keeps on increasing because Chandra is Soma. Soma is Kapha Pradhana Prithvi and Apmahabhuta Pradhana. So Bala keeps increasing, Bala keeps on accumulating in the body, and it will increase to its maximum level by the end of Hemanta Ritu. And then there is Meghavata, that's monsoon season. Varsha also happens, there is rain. There is Arukshata. Rukshata is not there in the weather. So because there is no Rukshata, there is Bala which is increased and everything. There is Amla, Lavana and Madhura Rasa Vruddhi happening. Santapa reduces due to rain. The Santapa, what had increased until Grishma Ritu because of severe sun rays, will start reducing because of the rain, what happens in Varsha Ritu. So you see the color combinations here. Shishira and Hemanta are having green. Vasanta and Sharad has yellow. And Grishma and Varsha Ritu has red color. So green color indicates Uttama Bala. Orange color indicates Madhya Bala. And red color indicates Durbalata. So when you look at the series here, Shishira Ritu, there is too much of Bala. Vasanta, there is moderate. And by the end of Grishma Ritu, there is no energy at all in the body. Bala has completely reduced because of the increased Rukshata, Jala Shoshana, Sneha Shoshana. There is a lot of Durbalata happening. And as and when the Varsha Ritu starts, there is rain happening. Bala starts keep on increasing and Rukshata decreases. There is increase of Prithvi and Apmahabhuta increases and Prithvi Mahabhuta increases. There is increasing Madhura Rasa. So this will start giving Bala to the body. So Varsha Ritu, there is mild energy which is still left out and it's still picking up. In Sharad Ritu, it has picked up. But in Hemant Ritu, it is optimum. Next, we understand about individual Ritu. ahara vihara indications and contraindications. See, the point here about understanding Rutucharya is majorly about, giving. See, here in this chart itself, we have understood what is the major thing happening. We have understood the Adana Kala is more of Agneya. We have understood it is more of Vata Pradhana, Agni Guna Pradhana. Visarga Kala is more of Saumya. It will, increase your Agni Bala or Deha Bala also. So considering these things only, major points, whatever is there here, considering these only, the further Rutucharyas has been explained in detail. You can go through all of these. I'll just explain to you whatever is written below the table, because whatever is there in the table is already there in the textbook also. If you want, you can just take a screenshot of this and use it for your reference. So below the table, whatever is there, I'll be explaining that here. In Hemant Ritu, there is Prabala Agni. Agni is too much, too high. It is too high, capable of digesting Matravat Guru Ahara also. I mean, see, earlier when we saw about Matrashithiya Adhyaya, author says Guru Ahara should be taken in 1/3 quantity or in half quantity of Sauhitya. But here in Hemant Ritu, the Agni is so prabala that even Matravat Guru Ahara can be had like even to until you are complete Sauhitya. Even then, the body is able to digest, is what I mean. That is the amount of Agni what is there in Hemant Ritu. So, what if you do not take according to this amount of Agni which is there inside your body? If food is not taken accordingly, there is Rasadhatu Shoshana which happens, and thereby Vata Prakopa happens. If you consider that, okay, let me do diet and oh my god, I'm eating so much, no, it cannot happen because your Agni is too much. If your Agni is too much, what it happens is, if you do not provide fuel from outside, if you do not provide food from outside, it will start using the fuel, whatever is inside, and easily accessible is Rasadhatu. So you have known about this Kshira Dadhiya Nyaya, right? The Ahara Rasa will get converted into first Rasadhatu. If there is no Ahara Rasa itself, what happens is this Rasadhatu will also get reduced. Rasadhatu Shoshana happens, and when Rasadhatu Shoshana happens, simultaneously all the other successive dhatus will also undergo Shoshana. Thereby, Shoshana, when it happens, there is Vata Prakopa. This you will end up in this kind of Vata Prakopa. So if you do not want to, if you or your patients or anybody does not want to end up in Vata Prakopa condition during Hemant Ritu, you need to fuel your engine properly. Whatever the capacity is there, Agni capacity is there, you must have your food accordingly. Okay. Next, in Shishira Ritu, same the table you can go through whatever is there. I've just listed out whatever is written here itself, whatever the author has explained to us, whatever Adhyaya Maharshi has explained to us in the shlokas, and Charaka has written it down. I have also written the same thing. There is no change in that, but the below ones are explained. Instead of writing shlokas, I've just written a few lines here. I'll explain this. Here in Shishira Ritu, whatever you follow in ahara and vihara, indications, contraindications, it's almost the same. There is no change at all. But in Hemant Ritu, the Adana Kala is just starting. So in Hemant Ritu, Adana Kala has ended, and Shishira Ritu, the Adana Kala is starting. So there is Shita Vridhi due to Rukshata, Megha, Vayu, and Varsha of Adana Kala. So Shishira Ritu, same ahara and vihara of Hemant Ritu, but you just have to take care about the Shita Vridhi, which is happening by including more of Ushna Dravyas in your ahara and vihara. Next, in Vasanta Ritu, what happens? Ahara Vihara, it's just listed the same thing. What happens here in Vasanta Ritu is kapha, which was accumulated in Hemant Ritu, will get liquefied due to the Surya Tapa in Vasanta Ritu. So in Hemant Ritu, we saw that it was the end of Visarga Kala. And then there comes, after Hemanta Ritu, it comes Shishira. Shishira Ritu, there in Hemanta Ritu, there was Kapha Sanchaya happening. In Vasanta Ritu, in Shishira Ritu, in Hemanta Ritu, there was Kapha Sanchaya happening. In Shishira Ritu, there was Kapha Prakopa happening. And in Vasanta Ritu, this Kapha, whatever had been accumulated in Hemanta Ritu and Shishira Ritu, will get liquefied due to the Surya Tapa in Vasanta Ritu. The Surya Prabhava will keep on increasing, right? As we discussed earlier, Surya Tapa will keep on increasing in Vasanta Ritu. So, because the kapha is getting liquefied and is moving all over the body, in turn there is reduction in Kaya Agni, that is Jathara Agni, which leads to Raga Utpatti. If there is less Agni, there is less Ahara Dravya which is entering inside the body, less dhatu which is being produced, less dhatu rasa which is being produced, thereby at last ojas has also reduced. This reduced ojas will lead into roga utpatti. This successive things, what happens, no, one after the other. Reduction of kaya agni, there is impaired ahara rasa which is produced, and then all the dhatu poshana will also happen impaired. At the end, ojas is also not proper. That is why there is a lot of roga utpatti happening in Vasanta Ritu. So when this kind of kapha pradhanata is happening here, this liquefying of kapha, if it is happening, what we can do is just take it out by doing vamana or any other panchakarma. Whatever is better for the patient or whatever is better for the person there at that moment, whenever the patient comes to you, consider if vamana is better for them or any other panchakarma can be done, because any roga can happen at any point of time, because we have understood how Srotas works. So next, it's Grishma Ritu. Ahara Vihara indications and contraindications are in the table column. In Grishma Ritu, what happens is Vasanta Ritu, same procedure has to be followed, but here there is lot of Surya Tapa again. Surya Tapa is keep on increasing. Vasanta Ritu was the mid range for Surya, and in Grishma Ritu there is lot of Surya Tapa. Here, what happens is Atishoshana of Sneha happens due to increased Surya Tapa. So there is Alpabala, there is Atishoshana of the Sneha. Next, in Varsha Ritu, what happens is after hot Grishma Ritu, in Varsha Ritu there is rain, right? The Grishma Ritu was very hot and immediately there is rain in Varsha Ritu. Due to this, Jala will attain Amla Vipaka. Due to the sudden change in the Ritu, there is Amla Vipaka of Jala. This will act upon the body and causes impairment in the Vatadi doshas. Because Jala is utilized in every single component of our life, in getting the produces, in drinking purpose, in utilizing purpose, in toiletry purpose, sanitary purpose, everywhere we use water. And this water, when we intake, internally also and externally also, the Sharira Jala and the Jala, whatever is there in the Loka, both of them will undergo Amla Vipaka, and this impairment will cause impairment in the Vatadi dosha. So, because there is impairment in Vatadi dosha, there is Mandagni. Okay. So here in Varsha Ritu, what we have to do is start following Sadharana Vidhi. There is no need for any person to start too much of Ushna Pradhana Dravyas or utilizing any Shita Pradhana Dravyas or Guru Ahara, Laghu Ahara, Snigdha, Ruksha. Nothing is required. Just do Sadharana Vidhi. Just follow whatever is Sadharana anywhere. You cannot go to the extremes. That is what the author wants to say. In Sharad Ritu, what happens is Arkarashmi in Grishma Ritu will cause Prakopa of Pitta dosha in the body, which would have been cooled in the Varsha Ritu. So there was Varsha Ritu, Grishma Ritu happened, there was too much of heat by the Surya, which was there. That would have caused Prakopa of Pitta dosha, and in Varsha Ritu, it has got cooled down. So, there is too much of temperature variations happening here, externally also and internally also, which is varying our Pitta dosha. So we see Prakopa of Pitta dosha, and to treat that, what we got to do is Virechana. Virechana is one of the Panchakarma that can be used, that can be advised for people during Sharad Ritu. So what we have understood is in Vasanta it is Vamana, and in Sharad Ritu it is Virechana. In other Ritu where there is Vata Pradhanata, we can see that is in the months of Shishira and Hemant Ritu, it is better to start with Basti. And already we have seen in Anutaila reference itself, in Nasya reference itself, that the person can start using Nasya in Varsha, Sharad and Hemant Ritu. So, Hamsodaka, this is a very, 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 very important question. This can also be a 5-mark question in our GHS examination, in our annual examination. And this could also be a Viva Voce question. They can ask you Hamsodaka is got in which Rutu. 1 mark for this. So, this shloka is important. Diva Suryamshu Santaptam, Nishi Chandramshu Shitalam, Kalena Pakvam Nirdosham, Agasthyena Vishikritam, Hamsodakam Iti Kshyatam, Sharadam Vimalam Shuchihi, Snanapana Avagaheshu, Hitam Ambu Yatha Amritam. So this is the shloka of Hamsodaka. What is this? Hamsodaka is in the morning the water will get heated by the Surya, and in the night the water will get cooled by the Chandra or the Nishi Chandramshu. In the morning it is Surya Amshu, in the night it is Chandramshu. In the morning the Surya will increase the temperature of the body and the water, and in the night the temperature of the water has gotten cooled down by the Chandra rays. So this kind of variation will happen properly according to the time, because Surya and Chandra are never late. So Kalena Pakvam, once it is done properly, it is Nirdosha. This water, whatever has undergone this process of day and night by getting exposed to the sun rays and the moon rays, it has become Nirdosha, and by undergoing Avishikarana by Agastya. Agastya is one of the stars which is also responsible for taking out all of whatever the doshas are there in the water, and this has become Avishikrita. This kind of water is called Hamsodaka. This is Sharada, Vimala, Shuchi. Sharada it is pleasant, Vimala is clear, Shuchi is also clear. Shuchi is clean and Vimala is clear. This can be used for any purposes, Snana, Pana and Avagaha. This water is as beneficial as Amrita. Hitam Ambu, Yatha Amritam. Amrita is like the nectar, the ultimatum. So this water, whatever you have prepared during Sharad Kala, Sharad Ritu, as Hamsodaka is as best as Amrita. Next, the last topic of this chapter is Okasatmya. So Satmya is something what the person has got accustomed to, or they have used it for long, long time, and there has been what do you say, the accomplishment towards the same getting accustomed towards the same kind of food. So we have understood Rutu Satmya now. So what season, what food has to be used, and what becomes Satmya to that particular Rutu. Whatever is good in that Rutu. When you eat that particular food, it is beneficial for your body. You will be able to get rid of so many diseases just by following that the ahara and vihara, whatever is explained in the Rutu. That is called Rutu Satmya. Satmya, according to Rutu, whatever is followed is Rutu Satmya. You follow them according to the Rutu as it is explained to get rid of the diseases, or to get rid of the Vatadi doshas undergoing Chaya, Prakopa and Prashamana. You can just support your body by following these advices. That is called Rutu Satmya. We have seen that until now. Now what we understand is Okasatmya. Okasatmya definition is Upashete Yadautsityat Odakaha Satmyam Taduchyate. Whenever you have this kind of food, there is Upashaya which is happening inside the body. Upashaya is reducing whatever the diseases are there. When you follow the same thing for a long time, it becomes satmya, and it will help you reduce the diseases of the body. This is one important shloka about satmya. Next, the 50th shloka is about सात्म्य itself. देशानाम् आमयानां च विपरीतगुणं गुणैः सात्म्यम् इच्छन्ति सात्म्यज्ञः चेष्टितं चाद्यमेव च. So there are two kinds of satmya which we have learned until now. One is okasatmya and the other one is rutusatmya. So when a person is having the food according to the desha and roga, even if the person is suffering from any viparita rogas also, when you follow this kind of satmya ahara, those diseases will also undergo upashaya. That is what satmya means. So we have seen there are so many people who eat cold foods itself always because of the availability. They eat only raw foods because of the availability. So even when you consider that viparita ahara dravyas also, but if it is satmya, but if they're using it for a long time, then we have to understand that it is satmya for that person. We cannot force them to have, you prepare hot food, you prepare ushna, siddha, matravat. No, that is not possible. If the availability or if the desha, kala, everything is according to that, according to the viparita guna itself, it is okay because that is satmya for that particular person. This is very, very important when you are planning the diet for any patient. So we come to the end of the session. Tatra shloka of this particular chapter is Sevaniya and Asevaniya Ahara and Vihara in every Ritu. We have seen the 6 Ritus and Sevaniya and Asevaniya Ahara Vihara in the tabular column here. Then we have understood about Satmya, Ritu Satmya and Okasatmya. Understanding that is very, very important about Satmya. So by this we conclude today's session. So tomorrow's session is about Navegandharani Adhyaya. Very, very important, and it's very interesting. One of my favorite chapters is this Navegandharani Adhyaya. We'll have a very good discussion tomorrow. So be prepared for tomorrow's session, and we'll meet at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this beautiful session. With so much patience, you are teaching us everything in detail, ma'am. Thank you so much. We'll join tomorrow at 7:30, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.